Hey y'all, welcome back. Tonight's homework is about exponents and how we can multiply terms that have both exponents and coefficients. Let's go through these problems one at a time. I'm really going to break down these problems. Eventually you'll be able to get through these without having to show every little step, but I just really want to make sure that you understand how and why we get from one expression to another. So number one says 3x to the fourth times 2x squared. The first step, and I'm going to do this for all of these, is I'm just going to regroup the terms. Multiplication is commutative, so you're safe to do this. 3 times 2 times x to the fourth times x squared. So just rearrange the factors here. Now I'm going to expand any of my exponents. So notice how I've got x to the fourth and x squared. I'm going to rewrite both of those so that I don't have any exponents remaining. So I have 3 times 2 times, and then this one right here is going to give me 4x's. And then the second one, x squared, will give me 2 more x's. Now I'm ready to go ahead and start to simplify this. 3 times 2 is 6. So after you expand it, now we're going to just start doing the multiplication, just kind of bring everything back together. Notice here how you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. So it's going to be 6x to the sixth. Now there's a little shortcut here, and that is if you want to go straight to the answer without having to do all this rearranging and expanding, the easy way to get through this is just to multiply the coefficients. 3 times 2 would be 6. And then add the exponents. 4 plus 2 is 6. So multiply the coefficients. Maybe I'll write that out. Multiply the coefficients. And then you're going to add the exponents. And this works for multiplication. Okay. So I'm just going to leave this up here so that you can kind of refer back to it as we go through some of these problems. Okay, number 2 is going to be set up just like number 1 here. We've got 5 times negative 2 times, and then we've got x to the fourth times x to the fifth. I think I might make this just a tad bit smaller so we can squeeze this in here, and just kind of moving forward, I'm going to just have to make the text smaller here, I think. Okay, that's a little better there. So now I'm going to multiply. Oh no, actually first I'm going to expand this. So I've got 5 times negative 2, and then I'm multiplying 4 x's. So that's x times x times x times x. Then I've got 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 5 times negative 2, that's negative 10. And then we've got a total of 4, and then 5 more. That's a total of 9 x's being multiplied. For number 3, we've got 8 times 9, so I'm going to group those up front and then multiply that by x to the fourth. All I'm doing here is regrouping the terms, and then x cubed. So we're just multiplying each one of these factors. Now we'll do the expansion. So we've got 8 times 9 times 4 x's, and then times 3 more x's. So this is a total of 7 x's. 9 times 8, 72. So I get 72x to the 1, 2, 3, to the 7th. Alright, so this is set up very similarly. First we'll regroup. Negative 7 times 6 times x to the fourth times y to the 7th. Now normally what I would do is expand this out, but since you can't multiply x's and y's and simplify those together, they're different variables, there really is no point in doing this, but I'm just going to work them all out the same way so you can kind of see. Now x times y is just x times y. Again, we don't know what either number is, so we can't really put them together, and so they'll remain separate. 7 times 6 is going to be 42, and we still are left with 4 x's and 7 y's. Now, once you have it simplified here, you don't really need these dots anymore. I'm just putting them in here just to kind of keep our work straight. Just kind of really, if nothing else, just for spacing reasons, make it easier to read. Number 5, same thing here. We're going to first regroup. So this is going to be 1/2 times 8, then times x squared times x. X squared is the only thing that needs to be expanded here. It's going to be x times x. So 1/2 of 8 is 4, and then x times x times x, that's 3x's, so we get x cubed. Number 6, first I'm going to regroup 2/3 times 1/4. We're going to have to do a little fraction multiplication here, it looks like, times x squared times x to the 5th. So 2/3 times 1/4. I'm just going to leave that there for now. Times, and then we got 2 x's, and then 5 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I count that out right? Yep. And then, so now I'm going to do the multiplication. 2/3 times 1/4 is going to be 2 over 12, which reduces to 1 over 6. And we have a total of 7 x's. I mentioned this earlier, but hopefully you're starting to notice the pattern here. You really just want to multiply the coefficients out and then add the exponents. That's going to be the shorthand way of getting your answer here. Number 7, first we will regroup. We got a lot to regroup here. I might even have to make the text even smaller on this one. 2 times 3 times 7 times 3 times x to the 4th times x squared times x to the 5th times y cubed. Whew. All right, that's going to be a lot of x's there. All right, so this x to the 4th is just x times itself 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then x squared is going to be x times x. X to the 5th, you should have 5 x's here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finally 3 y's. Let me make sure I counted this out right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 from the first one. 1, 2 from the second one. 1, 2, 3. I think I might have an extra x here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's usually a good idea to just go back and double check when you have so many like that. Anyway, 2 times 3 times 7 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18 times 7. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use a calculator on this one. I'm going to throw in the towel. It's going to be 126. Now, if I'm counting my x's, I've got 4. Let's try that again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We get a total of 11 x's, x to the 11th, and then y cubed is going to stay y cubed because there's nothing to combine it with. Number 8. We'll approach this the same way. We'll start by regrouping. So -2 times 3 times 8 times 4 times x to the 4th times x. Okay, so I'm just going to, like I'm regrouping anyway, so I might as well just put my x's together and my y's together. Times y squared times y to the 4th. Now we're going to expand all those exponents. X to the 4th, I should get 4 x's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I have just this one lonely x is just going to stay there, nothing to expand. Y squared is y times y, and y to the 4th is 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've got them all accounted for here. Yeah, 1, 2, yeah, so we're good. All right, so my last step is going to give you my answer here. -2 times 3 times 8 times 4. Yeah, I'm going to use the calculator. -2 times 3 times 8 times 4 is -192. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 y's. And there's number 8. Number 9. Now we're getting into division here. So all these problems before were all about multiplying. Here we're going to simplify using division. So I'm going to approach this the same way. I'm going to start by expanding. We got 7 x's on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 4 x's on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I think the strategy here is going to be I'm just going to reduce as many as I can. So in other words, like how many of these can I reduce to 1? There's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to leave me with x times x times x over, if you ever run out of terms, like notice all 4 of these got canceled out, just put a 1 there. When you're dividing by 1, that's essentially the same as doing nothing, so this will be just x cubed. However, if that 1 ended up in the numerator, you got to leave it there. Number 10. Same process here. 4 times x times x times x times x times x. There's 5 x's there. Divided by 12 times x times x times. A lot of times x is going on here. Okay, so first, let's go ahead and reduce all these to 1. And then I can reduce 4 over 12. Both of those are divisible by 4. So it can reduce to 1/3. So 1 times x over 3. And then there's nothing left. I guess times 1, but you don't really need to write that. And so 1 times x squared is just going to be x squared over 3. Number 11, same exact process here, y'all. 12 will be the same way. This will be 10 times, and then we got 6 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, do I have an extra one there? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Divided by -2 times x times x times x. Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel out what we can. 1, 2, 3. Gonna reduce to 1. That's gonna leave me with this expression without all those crossed out. Okay, 10 over -2 reduces to -5. Okay, so -5 over 1. Doesn't really matter if the negative goes on top or on bottom. And then let's finish this up. We got -5 times x cubed over 1. So we don't need to write the over 1. We're just going to write our answer. Number 12 is going to work basically the same way. We've got 6 times and then 5 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over 3 times, oh, these aren't even x's, these are just y's. Look at that. So actually none of this is going to cancel because these are 2 different variables. But the 6 over 3 will. 6 over 3 will reduce to 2 over 1, because 6 divided by 3 is 2 after all. And then we can go ahead and pull it all back together. 2 times x to the 5th over 1 times x cubed, so that's just going to be, sorry, y cubed. This is going to be y cubed. Number 13. Ooh, we've got some multiplication and division, so we're going to have to do both of these, and we'll kind of do them separately here. 2x to the 4th. Before I do all that, I'm going to regroup. So 2 times 3 times x to the 4th times x squared, all over 7 times 3 times x cubed times x. And then I'm going to do my multiplication here. 2 times 3 is 6, so this is going to be 6. 7 times 3 is 21. And here we have 4 x's, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 more x's. 1, 2. X cubed is the same as x times x times x, and then we have that extra x out there. So now I'm ready to start canceling stuff out. We can cancel out 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. That's going to be 6 times x over 21. And actually 6 over 21 reduces. Both of those are divisible by 3, so this will reduce to 2/7. The last thing to do is going to be to regroup, and the only thing we can really put together here are these 2 x's. It's going to be x squared. So our answer here is 2x squared over 7. Number 14, start by regrouping. 2 times x cubed times x to the 4th times y all over 9 times 2. Oops. Wait, no x there yet. 9 times 2 times x to the 6th times y cubed. Now we will start to expand this. Might as well multiply this 9 times 2 together. Gives me 18. Here I've got x times x times x. And I got 4 more x's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down here I've got 6 x's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh gosh. And then I need one more. Well, let me make sure that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And now we've got 3 y's. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see what cancels out here. We got 1 y is going to cancel out. And as far as the x's go, 1, we're going to cancel out most of these, it looks like. Actually, the only thing we're going to be left is just a single x up top. So 2 over 16 is going to reduce to 1/9. And then so we have 1 times x over 9 times y. And so our final answer here will be 1x. You don't have to write the 1 because multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything, over 9y squared. Here's your answer for number 14. We've got one more page here. Number 15, a little bit more of like what we did on the front. Start by regrouping. 2 times 3 times x squared times x cubed. Then we will expand our 2 exponents here. 2 times 3 times x, and then this one has 3 x's. So we got 2 here, 3 here. 2 times 3 is 6, and then we've got 5 x's, so 6x to the 5th. Number 16. First we will regroup. 2 times 3 times, 1 times 4. And then we've got an x to the 4th, an x squared, then another x to the 4th, and then an x squared. Now I'm going to totally expand this out. This is a lot of x's, so hold on here. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the first one. And then we got 2 here. And then we've got 4 more. Oh gosh, that's a lot of x. Oh, and then we got 2 more. Look at that. Oh geez. So let's just make sure we got them all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, followed by 2, followed by 4 more, and then 2 at the very end. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to regroup here. 2 times 3 times 4. 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24. This is just all 24, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 x's. Number 17, we've got 4 different terms here, but it looks like we're throwing in some y's here. So here we've got 2 times 3 times 7 as our coefficients, times x to the 4th times y squared. Let's skip that for now. Let's go to the next x one. Another x to the 4th. Then we got 2 of these y squareds to multiply. I'm starting to group all of the like variables. 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 times 7 is 42. So this is just going to be 42. And then here comes the x's. So we've got 4 and 4 is going to be a total of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then a total of 4 y's. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring this over here a little bit. And then we're going to regroup, get our final answer here. 42 times, we've got 8 x's, so this will be x to the 8th, and then 4 y's. And there's number 17. Number 18. Let's see what we got here. Now, when you don't see a number in front of it, but you do see a negative, that's going to count as like a -1. So when we regroup this, I'm actually going to write this as -1 times 3 times 1/2 times 6. That's what's going to give me my final coefficient. Then I'm going to also multiply this by x to the fourth. That should be an x. That's the only x one, so the rest of these are going to be y's. Times, I think so, get out of there, there we go, y squared times y to the fifth times y cubed. So let's see, negative 1 times 3, that'd be negative 3. Negative 3 times 6 will be negative 18, so this should be, half of that's going to be negative 9. Then we've got 4 x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 y's, 5 more y's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finally 3 last y's, 1, 2, 3. Whew, that's a lot. Okay. All right, so this will equal negative 9 times 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just 4 x's. That doesn't really change. Nothing to combine that with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 y's. All right, number 19. Number 19. Are we going to be able to fit this one in here? Let's see. Negative 4 times negative 6 times 9 times x to the fifth times x cubed times y cubed times y. So I'm just kind of regrouping everything here. Let's see, I think what I'll do here is to just kind of make sure we don't get mixed up. Let's kind of space this out a little bit. All right, now we're going to totally expand here. So first, let's multiply our coefficients together just so it doesn't get too out of hand. Negative 4 times negative 6 times negative 9. It's going to be negative 864. And I just realized I missed a multiplication symbol in there. All right, times, here we go. We got 5 x's, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 y's, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more y. So our answer here will be 864 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 y's, and then, 8 x's, and then 4 y's. Number 20. Ooh, we got some fractions here. 3/5 and 1/7. We'll have to multiply those. Times x cubed times x squared. So when you're multiplying fractions, you're going to multiply straight across. 3 times 1 is 3. 5 times 7 is 35. It does not reduce, so we're going to leave that alone. Then we got 3 x's and then 2 more x's. Thank goodness we don't have a huge long list like the last couple problems. And so that's just going to result in 5 x's here. So times x to the fifth. Number 21 has us going back to division. So I'm going to do, there's nothing to rearrange here or regroup. I'm just going to start expanding. So 12 times x times x times x times x times x. We got 6 of those, all divided by 24, and then 4 more x's. Now 4 of those x's will be able to be reduced. You can cancel out these 4 pairs here. And then 12 over 24 will reduce to 1/2. To finish cleaning this up, x times x is x squared, and then over 2. We don't really have to write the times 1 because multiplying by 1 doesn't change anything. So we'll just leave it as x squared over 2. Number 22 is very similar, and so we'll work it out basically the same way here. We've got 3 times x times x times x over 9 times x times x times x. And this might be the first problem here where all the x's are going to be able to be canceled out here. So all these will reduce to 1. And then 3 over 9 reduces to 1/3. There's no more x's left, so our final answer is just 1/3. Number 23 is going to work out very similarly here. 2 times, and then we got 4 x's over negative 7 times 4 x's. And all 4 of these pairs will reduce just like with 22. The only difference on this one is that 2 over 7 cannot be reduced. So our final answer here is negative 2/7. Number 24, I'll start by regrouping here. Negative 2 times 3 times x squared times x squared all over negative 7 times 3 times, what is that, x cubed times x to the 4th. Negative 2 times 3 is going to be negative 6. Negative 7 times 3 is going to be negative 21. That can be reduced, and actually we could have just canceled out the 3's here. Yeah, but wait a minute. 3 times 2 is not 9, it's 6. I think I may have said 6, but either way, yeah, we can reduce this. It's going to be 2 over 7. We'll come back to that. X squared is just x times x. So yeah, we got a total of 4 x's in the numerator, and then x cubed should have 3 x's, x to the 4th should have 4. So we should have a total of 7 down here, and yeah, that checks out. So negative 6 over negative 21 will reduce to 2 over 7. Again, we could have just, up here canceled out the 3's, and then negative divided by negative is positive. I didn't do that, so I'm not going to retroactively throw that in there, but that could have been a little shortcut we take here instead of having to multiply those together. I think there may have been another problem like that. Was it the, yeah, it was this number 13. See, the 3's could cancel out here too. Actually, a very similar problem here. Actually, is it the same problem? No, it's very close though. All right, so we got, how many x's are going to reduce here? Let's see here. 1. Yeah, it looks like 4 of them will be able to cancel out, leaving me with 3 x's on the bottom. So x cubed. So yeah, that one should be 2 over 7x cubed. Number 25. We're going to start by regrouping. Negative 12 times 3 times x to the 5th times y all over 8 times 4 times x cubed times y squared. Now, negative 12 times 3 is going to be negative 36. And then I've got 5 x's, 1 y. In the denominator, 8 times 4 is going to be 32. And I've got 3 x's, 2 y's. I can reduce this 36 over 32. Both of those are divisible by 4. Or could we go even bigger? Let's see here. 36 and 32. 36 is divisible by 4. Actually, I think that's all we can do. Yeah. So this is going to reduce to 9/8. Now your calculator will do the reduction for you. So if you just kind of struggle with that, thinking about what both of these are divisible by, doing that in your head, do not worry. You do not need to do it in your head. Okay, so 9 over 8. And let's see how many of these x's are going to cancel out. We got 1, 2, 3 x's. Can't cancel out an x with a y because we don't know what those numbers are, so we can't assume they're the same. In fact, we should probably assume they're not the same. And then y, 1 pair of y's here. So we're left with just 2 x's on top, 1 y on the bottom. So our final answer on number 25 should be, I'll throw the negative out front just to clean it up a little bit, 9x squared over 8y. And our last problem on the homework tonight is x over x cubed. Pretty straightforward one here. Ended off on an easy one. X over x times x times x. One of the x's will cancel out. Now remember, if everything cancels out on one of the sides, then you're just left with a 1. So 1 over x times x times x, or actually one of those canceled out, so just x times x. So that's going to give me 1 over x squared. And that about wraps it up for tonight's homework. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.